So today, we will be covering what are the top 3 questions we always receive as a mortgage broker. How I can increase my loan amount. Yes, so this is one of the most commonly asked questions we receive from our client. Like they always ask me, hey Kenneth, my loan amount now, I gotten an indicative from the banks is example $1 million, but I need 1.5 mil. How can I increase my loan amount to 1.5 mil? What can be done? This will be the tips we will be covering today that will help you to increase your loan amount. So number one, you need to know, on my previous episode, I did share that it's good to have a credit card, but if you have multiple credit cards, 10 to 20 credit cards, and you actually use all the credit cards, it actually lower your loan amount because each credit card usage, the banks take example of $50 commitment on each credit card. So one way to increase your loan amount is to pay in advance on all your credit card. So let me give you an example. Example, you're holding a credit card with A bank, and every time you know that the statement date is dated on 15th of the month. So what you can do is make payment 5 days before. If you have an internet banking, you can always log on your phone, check your internet banking, what's your outstanding on your credit card, make the payment 5 days in advance, okay, before receiving a statement, so that when you receive your credit card statement, the commitment is 0. This will be one way potentially can help you increase your loan amount. So credit cards, pay in advance. Point number 2, if you have a car loan, and if the outstanding loan amount is like 50,000 or 60,000 or below 100K, and you have the cash to pay off your car loan, you can choose to pay off your car loan. That will also help you to increase your loan amount, because sometimes your car loan installment is 1,000, 1,500 or 2,000. That will actually affect the maximum loan amount you can go for if you're going for slightly higher mortgage loan amount. But by removing this $1,000, that makes a huge difference in terms of how much you can loan. Okay? Point number 3, this is the most commonly used on to increasing your loan amount. So the banks do have a certain set of criteria that not just looking at your monthly salary, your annual salary. There is one more plus point you can use is to show your personal net worth. What do I mean by personal net worth? So personal net worth will be like your individual bank's account, how much cash you have in it, okay? That will actually potentially helps you to increase your loan amount. That means the banks can look at your personal net worth and using the cash you have to translate into a monthly income. So there's actually a standard formula that we calculate. By example, every 100K you have is equivalent to $625 of monthly salary. So that will actually increase your loan amount. So imagine if you have 1 million sitting in your bank account, that is equivalent to $6,250 of monthly salary. Another way is that you actually pledge some cash to the banks. What do I mean by pledge? Pledging means that you are locking up certain funds with the banks for 4 years minimum, and that will also helps you to increase your loan amount. So example, initially you can only secure a 1 million loan, and how we can increase to 1.5, the banks can work out the figures based on your income. By doing a pledging of 200K, you can get a 1.5 million loan amount. But of course, every customer is different because based on your age, your monthly salary, your annual salary, and your commitment is different. So there's no exact formula for anyone, but we can always base on your individual profile to make up the difference. What is the loan amount or what is the pledging amount required to increase your loan amount by 500K? So one scenario is by pledging 200K to the banks and increase 500. But of course, this does not apply for all customers. That it definitely by pledging 200K. As I mentioned, it depends on your profile. For pledging, you also need to show to the banks that you have this X amount of dollars in your bank account during the loan application. And subsequently, 2 weeks before disbursing a loan, you need to put into the bank which you are applying for the mortgage loan. One of the very common questions I get from my clients are, Kenneth, when I put in this pledging, is there interest? Technically, for pledging sums, you don't get interest, or you get very minimal interest, maybe 0.1 or 0.2 or less than that, because technically this is to fulfill the criteria of TDSR, the total debt servicing ratio. So technically there is no interest rate if you are doing pledging to get a higher loan amount. These are the ways that we can potentially help you to increase your loan amount. So for show fund, Some things you need to take note that the show fund amount cannot be used for your down payment. It is a set of cash above what you have going to down pay on the property. So example, your purchase price is 2 million and you need a 1.5 million. Example for the show fund is 500k. So this 500k cannot be used on your down payment. It has to be on top of what you have. For the show funds, you only need to show it to the banks twice. First round is during loan application. Second round is usually 2 weeks before your completion. Okay, so that will help you to increase on your show fund and how the process works. By doing the show fund, it can help you to increase your loan amount. So for show fund, usually the bank's criteria are during loan application, you need to show this set of cash in your individual bank's account. It cannot be a joint account. If it's a joint account, the bank has to divide it by 2. Therefore, if you put it in a joint account, 500k versus a single name account, joint account with the banks can only take in 250k. Certain banks actually require you to place in the show fund amount into that specific bank for as long as until the bank loan is disbursed. So, example, 2 weeks before your completion, you put in bank A. Until your loan is disbursed, then you can withdraw out the cash and you can use it for any other purposes for the show fund. Another thing you want to take note that for show fund or showing your personal net worth, it can be from stock, shares, bond. But of course, you need to remember if you are showing fund in stock, shares, bond, it has to be listed on SGX. If you have a lot of stocks under Apple, which is a US stocks, the banks in Singapore cannot recognize all this. So if it's stocks or shares or bonds, it must be listed on SGX. Number 2, if you are using unit trust or bonds or this, it cannot have any borrowing to it because some of the banks, they provide leveraging. So that means you put in, example, 100k, but they give you a leveraging up to 300k and you can purchase up to stocks worth up to 300k. As long as there's leveraging, the banks have to deduct off the leveraging amount. It only can based on the actual cash you have put in to purchase this stock, shares, bond. But of course, certain banks do not accept unit trust or they do not accept bonds if it's not with their bank. Okay, so to overcome it, one way is that you transfer to the banks which you are applying the loan for. It is a lot easier and it's more convenient for you as well to do the showing of your personal net worth. So stock, shares, bond is possible. One very unique thing you can also do to show fund or your personal net worth is gold bar. But of course, it's not showing the banks that you have the actual gold bar, but it's to show the banks the gold bar certification. So the gold bar certification has to be from a bank as well. It cannot be from those pawn shop or any form, or you actually have the physical gold bar at home. So all this, you can't use it. Only gold bar certification is eligible for your personal net worth or for the show fund. If your funds are in fixed deposit, it's able to show as your personal net worth as well. But for fixed deposit, you need to get the latest statement. As example, if you're applying a loan now, your certification is in October or September, and now we are in November. We can't use the bank statements which is from previous few months. So you need to head down to the banks to get your latest fixed deposit statement or get approved from the banks. So if you find this video useful, click on the like and subscribe button. Do not forget to click on the notification button as well, because on our next episode, we will be sharing with you how you can actually get a lower interest rate.